Hey Viking fans, the Minnesota Vikings travel to Chicago in Soldier Field and play the Chicago Bears without Justin Fields. Let's talk about that next in 3, 2, 1. Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Now, make sure you hit subscribe, like, and leave a comment. That helps out the channel. Also, help out my friends of the channel, Purple and Gold for Days, Purple Pocket Podcast, GG Sports Podcast, The Purple Code. I'm live on all those channels. Make sure you go help them out too. But also, subscribe, like, and comment. That helps me defeat the interwebs and YouTube's algorithm. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about this guy. The big news, Justin Fields, he was reported yesterday, will not be playing. Apparently, hip injury. Let's talk about it. Justin Fields has emerged as a playmaker for the Bears during the second NFL season, but his campaign is officially over after Week 17's loss to the Lions, days ahead of Chicago's regular season finale against the Minnesota Vikings. Head coach Matt Eberflus told reporters that Fields will miss Week 18 with a hip injury, and backup Nathan Peterman will start at quarterback in his place. Fields required an MRI on Monday after suffering hip soreness following Sunday's loss. Eberflus explained, and tests revealed a strain. The injury isn't long-term concern, he added, but will sideline the QB this week with veteran number 2 Trevor Siemian on injured reserve. Peterman will make his first start since 2018 when he played 2 games as the Bills' first-string QB. This isn't the first time Fields has battled an injury this year, and as the latest issue is notable because of Eberflus' public insistence on keeping the 2021 first-round pick under center despite Chicago being eliminated from the playoff contention. Fields was evaluated for a concussion on Sunday's loss to Detroit and previously missed a game due to a shoulder separation. And in closing, the QB absent could have implications beyond Sunday's game if Peterman and the Bears lose the Vikings in Week 18 and the Texans defeat the Colts. Chicago 3-13 would be in line to own the number 1 overall pick in 2023 NFL Draft as opposed to Houston 2-13-1. So, this is a big deal for Chicago. Any reason to sit him was a smart move. They have a notable reason. They did an MRI, hip soreness, whatever, but smart move by Chicago. If they get the number 1 pick and they decide Justin Fields is their future, which I think they do think that, we're looking at them having the number 1 pick, probably trading out of it and getting a haul from anybody who wants to go get the number 1 QB in the draft this next year. Because this was supposed to be a big year for QBs. Now, Justin Fields, firmly having such a good year, at least on my fantasy team, will, even though they only won 3 games, that bodes well for Chicago in the draft and being able to trade out of there and get a haul for it. Now, what does that mean? We got Doug Peterman. Great. Doug Peterman, we can honestly, if we wanted to, sit our starters and still possibly win this game with Doug Peterman, because Nick Mullins is a better quarterback than Doug Peterman. I wouldn't mind seeing what Jalen Naylor has, what Ty Chandler has. I wouldn't mind seeing all those guys get a chance on the field, man. Just to go into next year and see what we have. I think we'll get a lot of playing time. But I do not think we're going to sit our starters. I don't. I think we're going to try to win the game, and hopefully some miracle happens and San Francisco loses to the Cardinals. I don't see that happening because Cardinals have the same, incentive to tank, try to lose picks. Have I checked out what would happen if they did lose? How far would they? Or where would they be? If they won, how far would they drop? I mean, we dropped from 9th to 12th when we beat Chicago last year. Do we trade down to 31 if we have the 9th pick? I don't know. Maybe we trade up. Maybe Sauce Gardner's on our team. Who knows, man? Who knows what we would have done? And that's what we're facing. So I do not go into this game playing my starters, trying to get out every inch of this game. I go into the game, if I'm going to play my starters, is I'm going to rest. I'm going to give them some rest, play everybody, play Rager, play Jalen Naylor, play Nwang or Kene, play Ty Chandler, all that on offense. On defense, I just rotate the heck out of that game, man. I rotate the heck out of that game. You know, this guy on, this guy off. Get these guys all experience. Get them tape. Find out how good they are. Man, I just do that the whole game, man. Unfortunately, our offensive line, we're probably gonna have to play quite a bit of the game because we're on our backup center. We pulled in a guy off the street as a center. I still think we probably stay with our our current guy on the roster. Give him some experience. That's a good thing, but you want Cousins and him need to work together. So I just don't see us sitting Cousins to start the game. Unless it's been reported, I don't see it happening. I see us going in there with the bad taste in our mouth. Here, let's bring up Kirk Cousins. I see us going into this game with a bad taste in the mouth. We want to pull out a win. We want momentum going to the playoffs. But we still want to rest some guys. And the fact that Justin Fields is out does help us out defensively. This is known to be a bad field, although I was told by Chicago fans that they replaced the field turf, that it wasn't so bad. In the first game of the season, there was a flood basically on that field, and it held up well. So I don't know the truth behind that, but I'm told it's a better surface than it had been. However, it's late in the season, 18 weeks. Who knows what's going on with that field? We got pretty good weather conditions. It's going to be in the mid-30s. There's going to be no wind and no precipitation. I see us having a bad taste in our mouth. I see us going in there playing starters a significant amount of time in that game to get them back in rhythm. But I do see a lot of our second, third stringers getting in the game. Minnesota Vikings need to have a good showing against Chicago. We want the win. Who would have thought we would have won 13 games? I said that was our high. Believe it or not, I have it on record, 12-5, and I'll show videos in the offseason how it compared. I had us losing to Philly. I had us losing to Buffalo. I had us losing the Patriots, and I had us losing to the Packers in Chicago at the end of the year. I don't think we're going to lose this game. We're over 7-point favorites right now. We started out as 1-point favorites. Now with Fields news, we're touchdown favorites. It looks like I'm going to go with my high prediction of 13 wins. My floor was 10, but I had predicted 12-5. Where I'm playing on house money right now. I might get this 13th win. Might get my high-end prediction. Skull Vikings. Now make sure you watch this game so you get to see some of these young players get to play. I want you to look at Jalen Naylor. I want you to look at Brian Asamoah. I want you to look at Ty Chandler. Man, these are our future players, man. I think Ty Chandler's our starting running back in 2024. Jalen Naylor is going to compete big time for the second or third receiver spot. Guarantee it. He's going to be up there, man. He's going to be fighting for it. You're going to see him in this game. You're going to see him in preseason. He's got 5 freaking catches for 5 freaking first downs and a big-time touchdown. And everybody says, oh, is there a second team? The dude that missed him had 3 picks on the year, and he was a starting safety. So, hey, they underestimated him is what happened. And the next catch he had, double move and bracket coverage, made him look silly. These are NFL professional football players. That just shows you he was better than the guys on the field. That's all it shows you. He had the most catches, the most yards of anybody on the field. Maybe most yards for sure. So look for, he didn't have the most catches, but he had the most yards of anybody on the field. He had over 80. He had a touchdown. Nick Mullins looked good. I want to see these guys play, man. I want to see them play. I think we'll get to see them play, unlike last year in Chicago. Skull Vikings, let's get this game. Let's get 13-4 going into the playoffs. Who would have thought it, man? Who would have thought at the beginning of the year? Let's get it. Now, I know people are hating on the way we played last year. There's a compilation on the internet of all the Vikings slipping and sliding in that game. Packers are making us look silly because they listen to their equipment manager and wore the right spikes. I don't know what we were doing, but hopefully they'll never make that mistake again. Silly decision not to wear the right cleats on that field. Everybody was falling down. One of the picks could have been avoided if Justin Jefferson didn't fall down. I mean, that interception, and then we lost our right tackle slipping and sliding on that field, man. That hurt us. These guys didn't wear the right spikes. I'm not gonna blame everybody that was slipping and sliding. They could have been wearing the right cleats, but a lot of them weren't enough to make a big difference in the game. Maybe we still don't compete, but Jesus, do the right thing in Chicago. It's even a worse field. Everybody wear those 7 studs. Let's get going. Minnesota Vikings, take this game to them. Show them who's the king of the North. I know Poles wants to win the North and never give it back. He's not doing it in this game. He's not going to start here. Let's get them their number 1 pick in the playoffs. I don't care. Let's go Vikings. I'm out of here. Cue the music. Thank you, Viking fans, for listening. Make sure you catch my other episodes. Also, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Thank you. Skol Vikes.